What's going on, guys? Multiverse Corrupt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at the Atrocitus Build-A-Figure from McFarlane Toys. With blood and rage from Crimson Red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate. So right here, guys, is Atrocitus, fully assembled, looking absolutely amazing. My first-hand impressions of this guy is just wow. They really did knock this Build-A-Figure out of the park. For this to be a Build-A-Figure in general, it looks absolutely amazing. I know some of their Build-A-Figures were a little lackluster, but this one here, there was no time, no sculpt, no paint wasted on this Atrocitus figure. He looks amazing. With all that said, guys, let's go ahead and take him off of the rotating turntable and just zoom in to take a closer look at that detail. When it comes to the detail on the Atrocitus figure, guys, let's go ahead and bring him just a little bit closer to the camera. Starting, of course, with this face sculpt. I think he looks like a disgusting monster. Just look at this nightmare fuel staring back at you. So far, I do think this figure is great, but I do have some issues with it. Actually, it's just really one main gripe, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Looking at the rest of the torso, guys, going down here, I do love the detail that they put into the emblem. And it's not just a circle sculpt and then painted in. It is sculpted all the way through. You can feel all these lines all throughout the symbol. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I also love the gloss for the red. It really makes him pop. Just this like cherry red just vibrating off of this figure, guys. The red and the black. Chef's kiss. Flipping over here to the back, guys, as you can see, his entire suit is detailed. You can feel all of this. And even with his shoulder pads going up here, just the design alone within his shoulder pads, they look absolutely amazing. Me personally, I'm probably going to get a fine paintbrush and paint some black lines in here. I'm probably going to fill those lines in because they are detailed, they are sculpted. You can do what you want with it. I'm definitely going to put some black in here so that way it just kind of pops throughout the shoulders as well. Going down here to the gauntlets, I will probably end up doing the same thing as I'm going to do to the shoulder pads. This is detailed. They really didn't waste any time in putting this figure together. I do love that they gave Atrocitus the respect that he deserves. Going over here, looking at his fist, guys. His fist, the ring is in there. Let's see if we can get a clean shot of that. Kind of. It's just right there, but it is kind of got the logo within the ring. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera. I'm not seeing it here on my end, so hopefully you can, but if you can't, then I guess you'll just have to imagine it. But if you get it with the naked eye, you can see that there is a slight logo in there. Going down here to the legs and the shin guards, guys, and he does have some beefy looking thighs. This guy does not skip leg day. Looking at these shin guards, guys, once again, I'm probably going to do some black colors all throughout here just to kind of give it a little bit more, but it could do without it. It is a phenomenal Build-A-Figure. With all that said, guys, let's go ahead and zoom out away from the figure and get into the size and articulation and just kind of see overall how this guy was put together. When it comes to how tall Atrocitus stands, guys, Atrocitus does stand at a towering 9 inches tall, so he will tower over the other McFarlane figures, especially the figures that was in this wave with him. He is just an absolute monster looking down on his enemies. Now for the articulation, guys, let's go ahead and bring him just a little bit closer into the camera, starting off with the head. He is look up just a little bit, but due to his little shoulder guard here, this is what my complaint is. It just kind of goes on and off. It just kind of fumbles, really. It doesn't really stick on there very well. So me being me, I am probably going to put some hot glue in there and then place the prongs in it so that way it doesn't fall out. But in order for his articulation for his head, it does kind of get in the way. Let's actually go ahead and just take this off for now. He looks kind of naked, but we'll have to roll with the punches for now. He does, of course, articulate down all the way like so, and thanks to the ball joint, he does rotate all the way around, and he gets some good head tilt in there, but only without the shoulder pads. Going over here to his arm articulation, his arms do go up about that far, and they do rotate all the way around, and of course, he has that bicep swivel, and it is not too tight. His arm is a little bit loose due to the butterfly joint, so if that doesn't bother you, then that will be fine. But for me, it's just kind of annoying. It's just kind of like he flicks it and then his shoulder pads would pop off. But like I said, I'm going to glue it. So let's go ahead and move away from the shoulder pads. Going over here, he does, of course, have the double hinged elbows as well, and his wrist articulation is the same as every other figure. He is on that hinge and ball peg, so it can rotate all the way around. In terms of his ab articulation, his ab crunch is there. He can crunch forward about that far, and then he can crunch backwards about that far. Going down here to his leg, let's go ahead and get rid of the base. He does not come with a base, unfortunately, so let's go ahead and make that clear. I had to borrow that from another figure. But going down here to his waist does rotate all the way around as well, and he can kick forward about that far, and he can kick back about that far. He does, of course, have double hinged knees, get him all the way up to his buttocks, and his ankles do go down, and they do articulate up. He does, of course, have toe articulation and that beautiful, beautiful ankle pivot as well. With all that said, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the articulation and jump in to some size comparison. Starting off the size comparison, guys, here we have the Black Lantern Superman that did come within this wave, and this is how tall Atrocitus stands to about the other figures that was also in this wave. So as you can see, he does have some height to him. He is a massive figure, and this scale just works beautifully. Right here, guys, we have Atrocitus sized up with McFarlane's Green Lantern 2-pack, and I do think that this scale also goes together beautifully, with him still being a 7-inch figure, but you know, I just had to have my boy Hal Jordan in the shot. Right here, guys, we do have Atrocitus next to Sinestro from DC Collectibles, and this height still works for me. It's not as close to 7 inches. It's about 6.5, but it does still work in my eyes, and this would be the ultimate team-up to the Green Lantern Corps. Moving out of the DC universe, guys, we have Atrocitus standing next to the NECA Toys Alpha Predator, and I'm actually shocked to see Atrocitus standing taller than the Alpha Predator. That actually does throw me for a little bit of a loop, and I would love to see these two aliens go at it in a fight to the death. And then, of course, to wrap it up, guys, we do have the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four standing side by side to Atrocitus, and hey, it's your imagination, it's your world. If this works for you, it works for you. To me, it depends. It depends on how I feel, I guess. I do think he is a little too tall compared to Mr. Fantastic. But then again, with him being a massive figure, it could work. Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. As for my review on Atrocitus Build-A-Figure, I'm going to have to give him a solid 9 out of 10. I think he is absolutely beautiful. He is amazing. The detail is borderline perfect. The paint is perfect. The sculpt, the design, everything is amazing. But if the Frost Giant can get his sword, why couldn't Atrocitus get Dexter, his partner in crime, his best bud? I really do wish that the Build-A-Figures came with a little bit more. So for Atrocitus, I'm going to have to settle on the 9 out of 10. Now, as for the wave as a whole, with Deathstorm, Batman, Superman, and Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern, plus Atrocitus, the wave as a whole for me is a solid 8 out of 10. Some of the figures were a little lackluster than other, but you'll find that in a Build-A-Figure. All that said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.